So this video is apparently from 1974. 1974, white youth chase out black children of their neighborhoods. Now, a lot of people keep talking about race is this, race is that. Maybe people still worried about racism to a certain degree. Look, guys, everybody that's alive right now, if you're under 40, let's say, I even want to challenge that, you more than likely may not have experienced this level of racism. Let's go ahead and check it out. As always, guys, if you like this type of content, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Let's see what we got going on here.
What do you think of black people?
I don't like them.
Why?
I really don't. Because I just think that they're always looking out to make trouble.
Come on, let's get right up there.
Better turn around, Yum. Let's go back. Go back. What? Go back. It is the new boy running with that.
We were riding down this block, and his white people start saying, "Get out of here, niggas. You know, get out of my neighborhood. Don't come to this neighborhood." And then they start hitting on her, throwing rocks and everything else. Throwing rocks. Because we were in their neighborhood.
We went on a bike hike to McDonald's. We didn't mean to bother anybody.
We had a nice
saw a parade, we saw a gathering, so we went down there to see what was happening. I never even know people around here were like that. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
And I was sure wish he had hit me with that rock. I would pick up the rock right next to me and hit him right dead in his face. They always say niggas are doing everything. They always say we're doing everything, right? We didn't, every time the white people come down the block, we don't push them out their neighborhood and throw rocks and start hitting them. We don't bother the white people around our neighborhood, but when we get in a white neighborhood, they just push us out.
Yeah. Everybody with us, they said we're nothing, you know, they were a piece of dirt, dogs. I mean, that's the way you treat an animal. I mean, God, we're human beings. Yeah. You don't treat other people like that. It's just wrong. Black, white, I don't care. A person is a person. Skin should have no bearing on how you treat a person. That's just wrong.
I hate that God.
You don't hate them. I can't say that I hate them. I can't say that it's totally the kids' fault. I mean, I'm sure their parents had some bearing on the way they feel and everything else. I think it's just the system. I don't know.
How did this terrible thing
I think a lot of people should take her stance when we really look at things. Understand, give people grace. Now, when it comes to forgiveness, we should always forgive. Of course, that's what the word teaches us to do, is to forgive. When it comes to this type of situation, they don't know any better. Now, could them not knowing any better cost the life of these black people? I mean, one could say that. I could definitely say that. I mean, we've seen it. Them not knowing any better as the years progress could get them into a sticky situation. But at the end of the day is that we don't give in to the way that they think, because then we are no better than them. And I know people are going to be worried about equality and, you know, if they dig low, we got to go lower, stuff like that. I'm not talking to those that aren't of the faith, because they're not going to understand. But if you are of the faith, you may want to reflect on your thought process when it comes to this. Reflect first on the word and then come back to this situation, because this is a level of persecution that we don't want anybody to feel. Doesn't matter what, or at least me. I don't know about you, but whatever race you even are, this is not the type of behavior that I would want anybody to be experiencing, or for any kid to put upon another kid. But because of that time period, because of the way that things were, that's just what they went through. And mind you, this is even post civil rights. Civil rights was passed. Yet we were still having these type of situations. As the girl said, she's never experienced anything like that before. Let's keep going. Let's see. This is the father of one of the kids. Let's see what he has to say.
Affect your children. When they ask you these things, why? What do you tell them?
They are good and bad in every people, every race, regardless. Tell them that we just happen to be amongst a few people whose minds are warped. And I'm not going to teach them that, regardless of how many bombs they put at this house. I'm not going to teach my children hate.
Let's read the description of this video. This is from Street Hymns. While racism fuels protests after the black family, the Spencers, moved into Rosedale in Queens, New York, a group of black children saw something different. They saw a waving of American flags and crowds marching through the streets. They thought it was a parade as the white youth of Rosedale shouted white power and white resistance. They saw the black bikers and began to persecute them. They can see the pain and justified rage in the little black girl's. You can see the pain and the justified rage in the little black girl's eyes as she plotted revenge in her heart. She was a young little black girl, so it would make sense for her to feel that. We can feel that. But I love how the older girl understood that hate, but didn't choose to succumb to it herself and did her best to sympathize for the distorted, racist white youths. Revenge will always make sense, but it will never make even. At the end of the clip, you see Mr. Spencer speak on not teaching his own children hate, despite his house being burned and pipe bombed for just moving into the community. This was 10 years after the Civil Rights Act was passed. Clearly, there was still going to be some racism still looming in a lot of these people and a lot of white people, but it's a progressive type thing. And as time progresses, you don't see these type of things. We call that arson, and people go to jail for that type of stuff. Doesn't matter what race you are. So for people, anytime when I hear somebody talk about racism, yes, you could say that somebody just absolutely doesn't like black people, which could be the case, but which could not be the case. But this is not racism that we see now, because this is unlawful. And the way that time has progressed, how much black people is around just about anywhere. It like, you can feel how you feel about black people, but at the end of the day, they're going to be around. It's not a situation now that we have back then. It's just not, guys. And if we look at these videos, this is clear racism. This is clear racism. So the question becomes, would you prefer to be lied to in front of your face of somebody that's racist, or somebody to just be just straight up blatant racist? Because can you say that there's other people, that there's white people, I mean, even of other races that are racist to this degree? They just hide it because they know that it's illegal and they can't do it? Sure. But when they passed the Civil Rights Act, what did they want people to do? It wasn't going to fix the person. It was just going to kind of tame them, put them in a cage with what they can and can't do publicly. That's all it did. It takes a different level of understanding to really change the hearts of individuals, to really change the way that they think with their already warped mindset when it comes to other human beings. It takes a lot more in order to do that. And it takes speaking out to the youth and having them understand that at the end of the day, we all bleed. So it doesn't matter what race you are, we are still humans, and you are no better than the next person. The issue that I believe that we are facing nowadays is not in regards to race. It's in regards to class. There could be some racism in it, because you could probably say that one person that may be acting ghetto that's black and another person that's acting ghetto that's white, you may have more tolerance for the person that's white than the black. I don't know. It depends on the person. Y'all already know how I feel when it comes to the ghetto black people and the hood black people. There's actually a video that that I'm actually gonna take a look at in regards to the 4 different type of black people, which is gonna be interesting. But a lot of the issues that we're seeing nowadays is more so class. I don't think it's about racism. It's about class. Based off of the class, based off your environment, based off of the ecosystem that you surround yourself with, will determine your behavior and will determine if people of different classes will really want to be with you, be around you. And you can tell of the class based off of how they act. You can just tell. There's plenty of rich white people that have no class, that act up, the same as you can have wealthy black people that have no class and act just the same way as the hood black people or the lower income black people. There are lower income black people that have way more class than those that are wealthier black people, than those that are wealthier white people. And because they have better class, they're going to have a different mindset on how they're going to live and thus be able to progress in life and get to a point where they're no longer low class, just low class black people. And they'll get to a point where they're not even going to identify themselves with the idea of black and racism anymore, because they realize that that was just something that may have been put in as a system to try to keep black people low. But all it takes is for you to think a little differently and reflect on your life and how you navigate in this world of America to get yourself out of situations that you may be in. Will it take some time? Of course, anything good takes time, and it takes sacrifice. If you think it's just going to be a quick one and done, you're going to be in for a lot of hurt and a lot of disappointment when you get later in your years and you regret a lot of the decisions that you make. But it starts with the mindset of where you are at, where you treat people, your sense of morals, your sense of values, thus your class. When we're talking about economic class, that's a different thing. But like I said, somebody can be on the impoverished side, but based off of how they're raised, can act in a way that is tolerable for somebody that may be of a higher economic class. Thus that higher paid individual be willing to bring up the impoverished man, the impoverished black man, whatever you want to call it. That's how people get out of the system. Does the paid individual have to be white? No, it could be black. I've seen that happen all the time. The problem is that your class matters. A black man that may have money and that's doing well for himself isn't going to try and bring up another black man that has no class or is low class, let's say it like that, just because he's black. That's not how that works. But you know what they're going to do? The low class people are going to call him a coon because they don't want to help out the black man. But we'll see more in the video. You guys stick around. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you know when I do bring that video up, so that we can go ahead and check it out, because it's going to be interesting. And it's a face that I've seen before, but we'll see what he has to say about it. But as always, guys, y'all let me know in the comment section which I think. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.